What's happening with it, y'all? Before we get into this next video, make sure that y'all smash my like button and subscribe to the channel. Now y'all gotta hear this. The Blood Protection Committee and the SHC, the Spence Hate Committee, have joined forces, and they are now saying that all the Errol Spence pay-per-view numbers are fake, it made up, and Jerry Jones is the one that's buying all of the seats at every Errol Spence fight. And also, Errol Spence has never enrolled in VADA testing. Like I said, we gonna get into this, we gonna break it down, but before we do that, make sure that y'all hit my like button and sub to the channel. Once again, smash my like button and sub to the channel if you ain't already subbed to the channel. Now, recently, the BPC, the Blood Protection Committee, and the SHC, the Spence Hate Committee, they've joined forces. They found a platform to where they can sit around all day and make up things about Errol Spence and slander his name. Now, recently, I was watching one of the live streams just, because I support my man. I ain't gonna say his name, I ain't gonna say who it is, and I'm not gonna say who said what. But I'm gonna put up the proof and show y'all, just some of the things that they were saying and claiming. But anyway, the latest things that they claiming is that all the Errol Spence pay-per-view numbers are fake, right? And they also said that Jerry Jones is the one that's buying the majority of Errol Spence's seats when he, when he fights in Dallas Cowboys Stadium, or when he has a big pay-per-view event, right? When he has a big fight. They saying that Jerry Jones is buying 9,000 to 10,000 seats every time Errol Spence goes on pay-per-view. And they also saying that Google, Wiki, BoxRec, and everybody else, right, that's reporting Errol Spence's pay-per-view numbers are fake. And they're saying that they trying to make it so that Errol Spence looks bigger than Terence Crawford, and Errol Spence is bigger than what he is. They're saying it's a whole campaign that they have running for Errol Spence to make him look bigger than what he is, and all of it is fake and it's all a lie. Now, it's funny because they say that, and then they immediately start contradicting themselves by the other things that they saying, right? Now, so for one, they're saying that all the pay-per-view numbers are fake, right? But then they go and they start arguing, right? Going back and forth, talking about how Mikey Garcia was the reason that the first pay-per-view of Errol Spence sold big numbers. This is what they said. First, they telling you that all the pay-per-view numbers are fake. Don't listen to that. And it's just trumped up to make Errol Spence look like something that he's really not. Look like that he's a star and he's really not. And it's a whole full campaign. Make it look like Terence Crawford is doing less pay-per-view numbers than Errol Spence. I'm telling y'all, I can't make this shit up, right? So, in the same breath, out of the same mouth that's saying these things, on the same platform, they going back and forth talking about Mikey Garcia was the reason that the first pay-per-view sold, right, and did big numbers. It was because of Mikey Garcia, right? Errol Spence would have never did 50,000 in Dallas Cowboys Stadium if it wasn't for Mikey Garcia. But wait, didn't you just tell me that the gate numbers was fake because Jerry Jones was buying 9,000 to 10,000 seats? But then you come back and you tell me, oh, it was because of Mikey Garcia. Which one is it? You know what I'm saying? Now, let's talk about the Mikey Garcia in the pay-per-view numbers doing big numbers because of Mikey Garcia. Well, when had Mikey Garcia ever been on pay-per-view? Let me think. Never. Okay, when had Mikey Garcia ever sold out a stadium and did more than 11,000 tickets? Well, never. Well, let's go to Errol Spence. We all know that was Errol Spence's first pay-per-view. But so let's ask the same question. When had Errol Spence ever did more than 11,000 ticket sales? Well, Errol Spence, the fight before that, had went to Dallas and sold out the Dallas Cowboys practice facility. Put 15,000 seats in the Dallas Cowboys practice facility. Mikey Garcia had never done more than 10,000 ticket sales. But you're telling me it's because of Mikey Garcia is the reason that the fight sold big numbers. But in the same breath, you said that it actually didn't sell big numbers because it was fake and everybody is running a campaign to make Errol Spence look bigger than what he was. So, I mean, we already have a lies. I mean, which one is it? You know what I'm saying? Because that don't make sense. That's contradicting. You're already contradicting yourself right there, right? So, which one is it? That's all I want to know. Was it because of Mikey Garcia? Or was it because of Google and Wiki and PBC and everybody else trying to make Errol Spence numbers, inflating his numbers, making him look bigger than what he is to make Terence Crawford look smaller than what he is? Also, they say that the next pay-per-view with Sean Porter, it didn't have anything to do with Errol Spence. It was because Errol Spence was fighting Sean Porter. And it was because of what Sean Porter had recently done when he faced Keith Thurman and when Sean Porter had faced Kell Brook. And it was because of when Sean Porter fought Danny Garcia and everything that Sean Porter had done in his career. And Errol Spence just was able to get a great opponent and to be able to piggyback off of what Sean Porter had done. Now I said, okay, when was Sean Porter ever on pay-per-view before that? The answer is never, just like Mikey Garcia. Now, when did Sean Porter ever sell out a stadium? Once again, the answer was never. And also, you're telling me that it was because of Sean Porter. Well, let's fast forward down the line. Because Terence Crawford, he fought the same Sean Porter. And what did that fight do? Oh, okay. Yeah, that fight did horrible pay-per-view numbers. So if it was because of Sean Porter, after Sean Porter has fought Errol Spence, wouldn't Sean Porter be more popular? Wouldn't Sean Porter be able to do even much bigger pay-per-view numbers after already being on pay-per-view, facing Errol Spence, and being more popular going into a Terence Crawford fight? Unless it had nothing to do with Sean Porter and it was all because of Errol Spence and how popular Errol Spence is. So I mean, that pretty much debunks that right there, because y'all was trying to hold on to the Sean Porter shit, and Sean Porter did a pay-per-view with Terence Crawford and didn't do near the numbers that he did with Errol Spence. So you know, I mean, you're striking out already. You know what I'm saying? What is that? 0 for 2, 0 for 3 already? Now, right? And this is all in the same live stream, y'all. I'm telling y'all, I can't make this shit up if I tried to. So now, they go to Danny Garcia. They said, Errol Spence, he wasn't the reason that the Danny Garcia and Errol Spence fight did good numbers in a pandemic, right? They said it had nothing to do with Errol Spence. It was because Errol Spence had the dance partner of Danny Garcia. That's what they telling you. That's what they said. But remember, they said that before it wasn't even good numbers because they was making up all the numbers. All the numbers was fake. So just remember that in the back of your head. But then they come back and they said the only reason it did good numbers is because Danny Garcia and who Danny Garcia is. And Danny Garcia is a much more popular fighter. And Errol Spence, once again, got to piggyback off of Danny Garcia and the success that Danny Garcia has had in his career. Now, let me ask you, when was the last time Danny Garcia had headlined a pay-per-view? Never. So let me ask this. When was the last time Danny Garcia had sold out an arena? Well, you would have to go back from 2020. You would have to go back all the way to 2017 when he fought Keith Thurman. Yeah, That was the last time that Danny Garcia had sold out an arena, right? He didn't do it with Sean Porter. Nobody watched the Adrian Granados fight that was on free TV. Nobody watched the Ivan Redcatch fight. Nobody watched that fight. I watched it because I'm a diehard, fan, and I'm a fan of Danny Garcia. So I'm not shitting on Danny Garcia. I'm just keeping it 100. Didn't nobody watch that Ivan Redcatch fight, right? It did horrible numbers. Adrian Granados did horrible numbers, right? So he had fought Sean Porter, Adrian Granados, Ivan Redcatch, all before he fought Errol Spence. It did horrible numbers with Ivan Redcatch and Adrian Granados, and did pretty good numbers with Sean Porter, right? When it fought Errol Spence in a pandemic, it did the biggest numbers of that whole year. But you tell me it was because of Danny Garcia? Well, if it was because of Danny Garcia, why didn't Danny Garcia sell out the arena with Sean Porter? Why didn't Danny Garcia sell out the arena with Adrian Granados? Why didn't Danny Garcia sell out the arena with Ivan Redcatch, and why was the numbers on free TV so horrible? Make it make sense to me. But wait, it gets worse. Yeah, it gets way worse with these delusional BPC, Blood Protection Committee, and Spence Hate Clan, the SHC. It gets a lot worse, y'all. But y'all gotta stay tuned for part 2. In part 2, it get real ugly. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that y'all hit my like button, subscribe to the channel, and be on the lookout very soon for part 2 so y'all can hear the rest of the accusations that they was making on Errol Spence. And like I said, shit get real ugly. Watch out for part 2. Hit my like button, subscribe to the channel, and y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again.